Trigger warning. This episode contains discussions of sexual assault and may be distressing or triggering for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Yeah, we've both been on holiday.
We have.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been away for 2 weeks. How long did you go away for?
I went away for just short of a week.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where did you go?
I went to Italy. And I know you've had quite an experience in Italy that we're probably going to talk about on today's podcast. But it was let's just say the etiquette of the men in Italy.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Very different to the UK.
Oh my gosh.
And
I've never experienced anything like it.
never.
And I've
before.
experienced some shit, but that was fucking crazy.
It was rough, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So everywhere you go in Italy, men will come up to you, they will make comments, they will, they're very, very
Ballsy.
ballsy, yeah.
Maybe antsy.
Ballsy, antsy. I mean,
Yeah.
even at the airport on the return journey home, I was in trackies. It didn't look particularly attractive, if I'm honest. It was
Just
like
in chill clothes.
chill clothes. And there was this stag do coming back on the plane with us, and
Were they Italian?
Italian coming to London for a stag do, which was quite an interesting concept, but
Fair enough. I get it. To be fair, there's lots to do in London, so
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. Every time I walked past them, they were like, "Oh, you're so cute," and I'm just like, "Really, guys? Like, I
Yeah.
thought this was over now. We're at an airport.
Yeah.
What is this?" But I guess it's just a difference in culture, I suppose. compared
The
to
thing is, you
England.
say that, but I don't even think that's an excuse.
It's
I
not.
think they're just shitty men.
It was like England, I would say, about 20 years ago when you walked past
Yeah.
the building site. Or
Yes.
if you were walking up a club in walking up the stairs in a club and some people would grab you and stuff. Like now that wouldn't happen, but 20 years ago it would.
Yeah.
And it was very, very similar to that. But yes, I'm interested to hear your experience because you've waited until the podcast.
I have, yeah, to
tell
share.
me,
Yeah. I wanted to share it on here because I think it is something that unfortunately does happen a lot. So yeah, I was away for 2 weeks in total. I went on a cruise. I would recommend, to be fair. Like, it was very social. It was fun. So we went to it. It went from Barcelona first. So we spent 2 nights in Barcelona, and then we went to the port there, and then it went from Barcelona to Italy, Crete, Turkey, Mykonos, ended in Athens, and we'd been to Paros as well.
Wow.
So we saw a lot in a short space of
Yeah.
time. So Italy was our first stop, and oh my gosh, it was literally crazy. And I don't even think it has anything to do with what you're wearing. Like,
No.
I honestly think if I was wearing anything different, I think even if I was with a guy, I don't even think this would have stopped it from happening. I think they are just a different breed.
I think so. I have been to Italy with a guy before, and I didn't notice it as much when I was with a guy.
Okay, maybe then.
They would make comments, but it would be like, "Oh, she's very beautiful."
Yeah,
and it would be
more
to
respectful
him.
comments.
Very respectful
to him, of course.
to him. Yeah. Oh, she's very pretty, and rather than
As if you are a product of his
as if-
ownership.
as if I don't exist.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
But I didn't notice it as much, and it definitely wasn't as like pervy, I would say.
Yeah.
It was much more like respectful language.
It literally was, from the moment we stepped out, it was every 5 seconds. And I'm not exaggerating as well. Like, genuinely, I probably walked about every 3 steps and someone was either gawking at me or said something. And times, obviously, it was in Italian, so I don't
Yeah.
know what they were saying.
Yeah, just shouting at you.
But you know when men look at you and they like look at you up and down like that, and I'm like, ugh, stop that.
Yeah.
Like, the men are dogs there. We had a tour around Italy first, and we did it with like a taxi driver. That was fine, and he was nice. So yeah, after our tour of Italy finished, we then walked around and we got on one of those horse and carriage rides.
Okay.
And we thought it was a good way to see more of Italy. Obviously, we're with a cruise. You're only there for like half a day, really. So we got on this horse and carriage ride. My friend, she was sat in the back, and he told me to sit at the front with him. And I should have just fucking sat in the back. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. I'm a bit of a... Because I'm frustrated with how I dealt with it. But also, I do give myself grace because I understand why I dealt with it the way that I did. Because you don't know it until you're in it. And I feel like because I was out of my comfort zone, and obviously I'm with someone who you install a lot of trust in someone.
You do, and also if you don't normally go on horse and carriage rides,
Yes.
you're going to do what
I'm just going to do what you tell me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I maybe need to sit at the front
Yes.
because it distributes the weight more evenly or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like on an aeroplane kind of thing. If you don't do it,
that's
you
true.
don't know. So
Exactly.
you're just like, okay, yeah, I'll sit at the front. Makes sense.
Yeah. So I just did as I was told, and I feel like I went back into like the unhealed version of me. If I'm polite, I can just, you know, everything will be smooth sailing and whatever. So in the back, you've got a back to where you're sitting and stuff, like it feels safer, whereas I'm just on this box with nothing behind me, you know. So every time the horse would stop and then it would go again, I literally would like launch backwards slightly, and I've got nothing to hold on to. So at first he grabbed my hand and he put it on his leg and he was like, it's okay. And I had my hand on his leg and I just went like I just awkwardly laughed, and then 2 seconds after I was like, and put my hand back. And then he was Google translating with us, so he could speak the very basics of English but not obviously have a conversation with us. He was Google translating with us, and it very quickly got weird. And it was mildly funny at first, and then it very quickly became not very funny anymore.
What was he saying?
So I took a screenshot, like I took a photo of the things he Google translated, and he said something like, you two look lovely, like you two look good enough to kiss and bite, like I want to bite you both. And I showed it to Jess, and we both were like, we should go.
Yeah,
like this.
Let's get off this.
Let's get off this.
And this doesn't seem like a good idea anymore.
No.
Get me off this ride.
Yeah. So we Google translated with him then, like, can you take us back to the cruise ship because it leaves soon? Like, we need to get back. And he was like, yeah. Didn't fucking take us back.
Where did you go?
He just fucking like circled around like Italy and took us to see this 150-year-old tree.
Oh, great.
Yeah, brilliant.
Did you get a picture with the tree?
I got a picture of the tree, yeah. Obviously, eventually went back, and he took us quite close to the cruise ship, but off the main road, he went just down this, like, side alley, like, street. Now it makes sense why he did that. So Jess got off first, and then I got off, but you have to sort of, like, climb down, don't you? So as I went to get off, he literally grabbed me by the waist, like gripped onto my clothes, pulled me back, and I like sort of fell back, and then my knees like clipped his knee, so I fell onto his lap.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then he's put his arms around me, and then was like to Jess, he was like, picture, and me and her were like, no, like we need to get back. I was like, no, sorry, we need to get back, and he was like, picture, and then Jess was like, oh, okay. She was like, all right. She took a picture. I look fucking uncomfortable in the photo.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm not smiling. I literally am like looking, I'm just, you know, she took the photo in case he was like showing me, just in case. Obviously she deleted it afterwards because I did not want to look at that photo. Again, I go to get off. He grabs me by my face, like by my neck, and then kisses me on the lips. Yeah, and I could taste his fucking musky breath.
Oh,
like,
that's gross.
Disgusting. This
That
man
is
was
so
absolutely
gross.
disgusting. And then I like grabbed his, like, had his head and I shoved him off of me, and I was like, enough. And I said, like, I was like, enough, like, fuck off. You know, I was fucking angry at this point. I was pissed off that this has happened to me. And as I like shoved him off and said enough, I then tried to clamber off the thing. And obviously you've got to, like, you know when you jump down off something, you sort of bend and go
your
off.
bum kind of.
Yes, as I did that, he put his hand through my skirt,
No, he didn't.
through the back of me, and like touched my.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting. Yeah, I know.
Oh my.
I have to laugh because if I don't, I will cry.
No, actually, really disgusting.
Disgusting. I've not been violated like that since I was a teenager, and yeah, I got off, and then I was like, did you see that? And she was like, yeah. And then she was like, are you okay? And I was like, I just want to go back. Like, I just didn't want to talk. I was like, I need to get back. We got back to the cruise ship, and I was, you know, but I guess you're just sort of processing it. And then we had small talk, like just saying, I fucking can't believe, like, the men here are fucking crazy. And then we finally got back into the cruise ship, then went all the way to our room. As soon as we got into our room, I just burst into tears because I was like, oh my God, I literally can't believe that has happened to me.
No.
And it's meant like...
It's a sexual assault.
It is. Yeah.
That is a sexual assault. And the thing is, as women, we tend to, and especially this is what I was saying, like 20 years ago, it was normalised. You would walk upstairs in a club and guys would grab you, and that was okay. Like, you never had a a right to say, and you had a right,
Yeah.
but people never used to, because no one's going to listen to you, and nobody viewed it as a sexual assault 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe in Italy they don't see that as a sexual assault, but certainly here that is a sexual assault.
Yeah.
And you do not do
Yeah.
that.
Like,
And that's
completely violated me.
completely. Here, that's you can take that to the police, and the police will prosecute somebody. Over there, I doubt they'd.
No, they just laugh in my face.
Yeah.
Of course they would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Why aren't you happy for the attention? It's that kind of attitude. It's really heartbreaking to hear that you went through that, to be honest.
Like, afterwards, obviously, I'm thinking, what could I have done differently, and blah blah blah.
Nothing.
No, I know that, but like, you do have that moment, don't you, where you think,
You
what could I have
internalise
done?
it, and you're like, oh, did I give them any signs?
Yeah, I
that
definitely
that's
didn't
why
give
I
him
did
any
it?
sign.
No, no.
Afterwards, though, like, so my mum called me, like, at the end of the day, and was, obviously, I started telling her about what happened, and I got upset on the phone, and her first response was, why the fuck didn't you hit him? And I'm like, that's not productive, like, at all. Yes, you can have that argument of, well, why didn't you hit him? But at the same, like, I'm in a foreign country, I don't speak his language, I don't know if he's carrying a weapon, I don't know these things,
know in that moment how you're going to react to something like that either. And you can't say, why do people not do this and why do people not do that? Like, actually, in that moment, you're operating from a place of fight and flight.
Yes, exactly.
You're not using your, like,
logic.
Yeah, you're not. And when our fight or flight kind of takes over, the adrenaline response, it stops our, like, executive functioning on purpose, because we need to either run or fight.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you chose to run.
Yeah.
And that was an automatic response.
Yeah. It's just because I thought, like, oh, what else could happen to me if I chose to kick up a fuss? And this is why I say I go back into that unhealed version of me, because I felt like if I was just polite and just I just wanted to get out of the situation. I can deal with it after. There's nothing I can do now. It's happened, but I just thought, I just need to get out of this as safely as possible, because I don't know if I then kicked up a fuss and was like, fuck you, and punched him. I don't know what he's carrying, or he could be aggressive. I feel like if that happened to me in the UK, I may have probably punched him.
And the thing is, as well, the level of protection you're going to have in the UK
is very different.
Very different from the men around.
Yes.
If they see that, they're not going to stand for that.
Yeah.
And neither are the girls that, in that situation. Also, you're in your home country.
Yes.
You're in a place that it's your environment. I know we obviously go to different cities and things, but you control that environment. You know what the local, like, the norms are of the country. And so
I know my rights, and I can
rights.
actually take that to the police and
exactly
stuff. Yeah.
Exactly, a different experience completely.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not just Italy that's
No.
like that. So in Poland, I had a similar experience where my friend and I took over a kebab shop drunkenly, not rudely. The kebab shop in Poland was like just a window, so you couldn't wait indoors, and we were cold, so we asked, can we wait indoors, like in the actual shop where you're preparing the kebabs, whilst we wait for our food? And the guy was like, yeah, that's fine. And then the customers started coming to the window. So I was like, oh, I'll make their kebab for them. It was, like, quite funny at the time. So I was making their kebabs and stuff, although I couldn't understand a word they were saying. It was in Polish. It was fine. They were, like, having a bit of a joke and a laugh in Polish. And then we got our food and we were going to leave. And as we were going to leave, he reaches behind me and he's, like, grabs my boobs, and he's like, oh, very nice, like, in my face, like, fighting him, getting him off me.
Ew.
But in that situation, it's like, I'm just kind of going back to what you were saying in terms of, like, did you do anything to deserve that? Absolutely not. I don't see how getting on a horse and cart with somebody and sitting with them at the front then is like an invitation to grab you, sit you on his lap, and then violate you as you get off. Just like, going into a kebab shop and asking to wait in the warmth and being like playful, serving kebabs to people isn't an invitation to then grab me.